All right. Let's see. Hopefully you guys are here. Who's here? Hey, True Existence. Good to have you. Hopefully we'll have some people come in here pretty soon. While we're doing that, let me go ahead and just pull off some of the final renders we're expecting to get out of here. At least something close to what we're working on today. Okay. Sweet. Sweet. Cool. Hey guys, just kind of waiting a little bit. We got started not late, but we turned on the channel a little late, so we're just waiting for people to kind of trickle in, hopefully. Hope everybody's doing all right. Now I'm just kind of playing around a little bit before everybody gets here. Also messing with, we weren't going to go over some of our older leathers, but I thought we'd play around with them. Might see what we can get out of them here in this character we're working on. This is one of our models from one of the newer guys here at Game Textures, Pavel. None of us can ever say his last name, so we just call him Pavel. Yes, the Wachowski, I guess. Anyway, let me see here. So we applied. I'm trying out the suede from our previous leather pack here on this character. Let's see. Let's tone down, adjust some of these parameters a little bit. Add a color selection maybe, and I don't know. Let's add that there, and maybe let's adjust. Just gonna adjust the height range, maybe tone it down, and just a normal intensity. It's a little strong, but it's kind of cool. We got, you know, a little bit of a hide there. Let's also try one of the favorites here is this. I don't know. There's actually what is it? It's bumpy couch, but there's also this one's pretty cool too. This snakeskin pattern. So let's give this guy some snakeskin. Mess with these just a little bit, kind of just mixing and matching. Alright, so maybe we'll apply, let's tone down. I think the height range is a little strong. So for those of you that are not so familiar with Substance Painter, one of the interesting things with it is it accepts, especially now in version 2, is it'll generate a normal map with both the normal intensity and the height range. So so if you have both of them turned on to max, sometimes it just gets a little too, as you can see here, just a little too strong. So kind of tweak it a little bit to where there's a good blend between the two. You know, you could also turn down normal intensity and just base it all off of the height. But I think typically I get a nicer result basing it off of the normal intensity rather than the height. So just tone that down a little bit. And let's again add another mask with color selection. Let's just add, I don't know, what should we make snakeskin? Maybe his arms. Right, there we go. And it looks like G.I. Joe or something, like Snake Eyes. I don't know. And let's increase maybe the tiling on this, and let's set it to triplanar. Maybe UV is better here. All right, there we go. Kind of interesting look there. So let's see, I think we can probably get started. Let me just kind of show you guys what we're trying to achieve, a little bit of some of the final renders in Photoshop. Oh, let me pull those images up. Let me see here. Here it is. So our final renders that we're kind of looking for, or at least one of the things that we can achieve here, is something kind of like this, right? So notice here's the this is a render in Redshift, by the way. We've been messing around a little bit with Redshift, just seeing what we can get out of it. So notice we've got a little chainmail pattern up here, some leather, nice worn leather around the top, little button, right? And then some of that gambeson here for the arms, right? The lamellar plating right here in the front, right? Just some more leather all around. So pretty cool, I think, overall design here. Something you would typically see in something like, I don't know, Dragon Age or Skyrim game, something like that. Right? It's a nice fantasy character that you can generate here. Also, I'll go over a little bit on what the pack consists of, right? Which is really neat. I before coming to Game Textures, I was actually my goal was to become a character artist. So this is some of the stuff that I really enjoy messing with, and just having a kit like this would really would have sped up a lot of my portfolio work at the time. But so here's look. So this is kind of a nice leather studded brigandine, right? So we have also one of the things Pavel included here is some nice like options for decorations. So if you see right there, let's bump this up real quick to a 2K. All right, so maybe we might play around with this a little bit. This one's pretty cool. So he's got some nice kind of designs here, but I think if I can find it, yeah, he's actually got a bunch of ornaments. He actually asked me to. One of the things we kind of collaborated with was he asked me for a tool. He was like, "There's not enough slots on the current grayscale switch. Can you give me some more?" So you've got, I don't know, dogs, right? These are cool. I haven't actually seen some of these, and we can increase the intensity. Might take a second. There we go. Right, of the pattern. I'm excited to play around with this on the actual character. Makes me want to do a character sculpt just for fun. Have a couple of characters I haven't messed with. I've been thinking about revisiting eventually. So we've also got I don't know, more Greek-like ones. So these are really cool. I'm excited to mess around with these. Plus, it's always pretty hard to find patterns like this just lying around. So being able to just stamp them is real cool. Let's see. There's also, I think, a pack that he has the same thing, same pattern designs, but on leather. Right, there you go. All right. And actually, this is cool. This is actually going to be cool for maybe this centerpiece right there. And we've got other controls, right? So we've got aging, just dirt splatters on it, blood, right? Nice thing too about these is you can, all of them are standard, so that you can kind of expect that if one of them has blood, you can do them on all of them. If one of them has dirt, you can do them on all of them. That's cool. Got it post-process sharpen, roughness sharpen. Cool. And, you know, so and then we can adjust here how many times they tile. Size. Oh, that's cool too. We can push it past and it actually doesn't break it. It's real nice. Oh, cool. And then we can switch them in and out. And let's just take a look at it. Real high quality. Real nice. Real cool. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm excited to actually mess with this. We also, oh, I got to show this one. So we also have, you know, for people wanting to do like For Honor fan art or something, we've got some samurai style armor, which is cool. Right, so we can stack these. Right, let's bump it up to. I usually work. I mean, depending on how fast your machine is, I'll start off at 1K, and then once I get some pretty good settings, I'll bump up to 2K, just so, kind of just my workflow. Everybody's is a little different, but you know, this is cool. You can set, you know, your base color for it. You know, again, you've got those controls for dirt, right? Scratches. Real neat stuff. You know, we can age it. So let's go ahead. Let's start playing around with these. This will be a lot of fun. Let's start off by. Oh, cool. I wasn't seeing who all was here. Hey, Eric. What's up, man? Okay. Then I messed up I messed up Twitch, it looks like. Alright, that's cool. So let's start with this decorative leather. I really like that. So again, you know, one of the things I love about doing stuff, and let's just clear this out. Let's start from scratch. One of the things I really like about working in Substance Painter is that I can just drag and drop the material. So I can actually just select this decorative leather, drag and drop it to my materials, and for now I'm just going to say import to current session only. Right. And let's go ahead and usually it'll go directly to it, but I think I was scrolling, so maybe it stopped. Let's see here, leather armor. All right, here we go. So let's just drag and drop it here. And notice when you first drop it on there, it's kind of weird. You're like, hey, what's going on? There's a bunch of stuff here. Give me just a second, guys. I don't know what happened here to Twitch for me. I know some of you are trying to talk to me on the chat, and for some reason my chat just disappeared. All right, so here we go. So notice here it's kind of initially a mess, right? But we're gonna tweak that and get it to where it looks the way we want to. So we'll start off by isolating it. We just want it here on the center section. So I'm gonna right click here on this leather armor layer. I'm gonna add a mask with color selection, and I'm just gonna select color selection down here, pick color, and select that. By the way, I don't know if all of you guys already know. I'm not gonna cover it if you guys already know how to do it, but if some of you want to find out how to create, notice this actually, one of the cool things about this is this has no high poly, right? This is completely just a low poly model, and we're generating the high poly details with just Substance Painter. So well, if you want to know a little bit more about how to isolate little sections by creating matte IDs, let me know, and we can maybe cover a little bit of that at the end. Anyway, so here it is applied, still not looking the best, kind of messed up with the UVs and everything, but we're gonna fix that really easily. So we'll select this layer. What we'll do now is switch first of all from UV projection. Notice everybody does this a little bit differently. Personally, I always like to have all of my UVs going straight up and down. That way it's a little easier for me. I know exactly how the textures are going to lay out on it. But the great thing about Painter is even if it's not, it's really easy to fix. So what we're going to do is just switch this from UV projection to triplanar projection, right? And now it's going straight up and down on there, right? So that's pretty simple. The next thing we're going to do is, it looks like we have too high a gloss, and that's actually not it. What's actually happened, I have some problems with ID maps, but it's more a Blender problem. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about that. I think Pavel wrote some tools for generating at least some sort of quick maps in Blender or something like that, maybe matching up high polys and low polys. But he wrote some tools for going from Blender to Painter, I think. But we'll talk about that a little later. There's a lot of different ways to handle it going into Painter. Right? So now we're still coming in a little glossy, or at least it looks glossy. That's actually not the problem. The problem is the height map is pushing out too much. So it's creating that illusion of depth, but it's pushing it a little too far. So what we're going to do is tone down this height range. Right? And I think that's pretty good. I'm going to bump up my normal intensity a little bit. Just so you guys, for those of you guys that use our materials, height range, normal intensity, the default is 5. So if you push it past 5, this is 10 would essentially be double the strength of the normal map. We're gonna keep it somewhere around, I don't know, 6. You know, and maybe just slightly increase height range, right? Personally, I really like it when to get most of the height information from the normal map. All right, so that looks pretty cool. What's next? It's a little glossy for me, so I'm just gonna turn down the gloss a little bit by increasing roughness, right? Just a hair. Because what's gonna happen, I may also adjust the aging, and when I adjust the aging, it's gonna affect the glossiness of this material. But that looks better to me. Also, I wanted to tile more. I don't want this big kind of crab creature. I know it's like a flower, but to me it looks like a crab. Sticking out in the middle of his chest, right there in his solar plex. So let's tile it a little bit. And increase tiling. Cool. I like that. All right, now let's go to advanced parameters. Let's start making some adjustments here on. Oh, here's where it gets. This is kind of where triplanar projection gets a little funky. Yeah, there we go. So if I just increase hardness, it gets a little bit better right there. All right, now let's go ahead and adjust these parameters. So we'll go to advanced parameters. So all the basic ones, you know, adjusting if you want it to be more or less saturated, basic color correction. They're all going to be here under basic parameters. For more in-depth ones, we'll go to advanced parameters. Notice too, we have them categorized. This is kind of a new thing we've started doing, is putting all of our controls in categories. That way, you know where they're going to be. It's a little easier to access, etc. If you guys have any suggestions as far as that, we'd be happy to, you know, hear about it. Send us an email, support mail, something like that. Let us know what you think. All right, so first we can adjust how many times these tile. So we can, you know, increase the X tiling. Oh, that's probably way too much. I don't like that. We'll just keep it there. Maybe like that. Yeah, like how it is. We can also change our design. So you know, we've got a Greco-Roman meander. We can adjust its size. Right. I bet at 100 they're gonna touch. There we go. Perfect. So it goes straight across, right? And how about instead of bumping out, we invert it so that it's actually denting in. Cool. And let's increase the intensity a little bit. There we go. All right, now let's see what else. Let's add, oh, so we've got some controls over the leather. So we can change the main color. Let's go maybe a little more tan. There we go, I like that. And let's increase some of the disc color. Yeah. Oh, and here, look, we've got another control over the roughness. So a lot of our mats, they'll actually have specific gloss controls right here in the advanced parameters. So, you know, we can kind of offset again from here. Most of these basic parameters, they happen at the very end of the chain, so it applies universally. This one, it'll specifically apply to, you know, one level of it. So this is just going to apply to the leather part. Sometimes we'll have, for example, these little rivets. I don't think they're that way on this material, but sometimes we'll have them to where you can switch them to copper or something, and then this wouldn't affect these little rivets. Cool. Let's see, spots. Okay, I like that. Subtle but evident. Cool. All right, then we can mess a little bit with the aging. So we can make it older to kind of roughen up that material a little more. Also add some dirt. can drag this up, get lots of dirt on it, or tone it down. Let me tone it down. We can add some blood splatters, which most of the materials will have. There they are. And adjust how big they are. That's it. And then particle deposition, I think it's just some gathering here in the crevices. Cool. We also have Pavel's really cool. He added some post effects that'll sharpen your base color or your roughness. So, you know, you don't want to push it too much. Typically, if you add a lot of sharpen, it just turns really messy. But we'll have this a little bit down. All right, that's cool. I like that. All right, so we can. Dancing cupcake. What have I missed? Not so much yet. We're just kind of going over some of these materials. We're applying them to this character. And typically, for me, right, I'd add layers on top of this and get some of the dirt to settle in that way. But Pavel's been really cool in that he's given us a lot of controls right here at the material level. And so, honestly, there's not much to do as far as adding dirt on top. I mean, we can do some things. For example, if we wanted to add, you know, just let's see. Oh yeah, and actually one cool thing about Painter now is we can actually hide the whole interface. Right? So this is cool. We can tab in and out. So that's pretty cool. Right, let's take a look now at let's add some of his arms, some gambeson on the arms. So I'll just take this. This is I already imported it from earlier, and I'll just drag and drop it here. All right, you got to be careful with this. Sometimes if you have a layer selected and you click on a material, it'll just apply it to the layer you currently have selected. So I'm just going to undo it. Right. But I'll just click and drag this here. Right. So now we can see it's still there underneath. Again, we'll select this material, tone down the height range. We don't need it to be quite so strong. Let's also add a mask with color selection, and we're just going to pick right there. Right there. Let's remove this bottom one. Again, right there. There we go. All right. And I don't think we'll need to turn down tolerance. Looks like it's just staying in that particular section. So let's select this. Right. Obviously it's not quite, oh yes we do. Look, it's blending it with that leather right there. So let's adjust color selection, turn down. Yeah, we'll just get it on this arm for now. We'll revisit that later maybe. So again, we're gonna adjust tiling. So let's select the material. Let's increase tiling, and obviously we don't want it going that way, we want it the other way, so we'll rotate it. Cool, there we go. And we can make some adjustments on it with the other, so add some aging. All right, this one has some controls for the stitch, so which is pretty cool. We can make it, I think I want to make it brighter than the material. There we go. And then maybe a different hue. That's one thing you'll kind of learn as you you do some of this type of artwork. A lot of times, sometimes you want to hit for accuracy. Other times you want to hit something specific. Like for example, yeah, maybe it is accurate that the stitch would be darker, but sometimes it's a little easier, especially if you've already got some dark settling in at the seams, to make the stitch brighter in order to give it that contrast. So, you know, also a good way, obviously the difference in values is a good way to bring out a particular, not a material, but a particular element, right? But changing the hue will do a lot too. So if I switch this, I mean, we wouldn't want it to be, you know, purple or whatever. But notice if we switch it to that, it really stands out, which is not good. but if you know, balancing that out, the hues and the values, that'll really add a lot to your work. All right, cool. So there's that. Let's add some aging. Sure, why not put some blood on there? It's battle worn. He had to fight the Witcher. There we go. And ran away. Let's close that. We've got a dirt control here. This is real cool. So we can. Oh, this is one good thing to show off. So let's just max out dirt intensity here, so you guys can see. A lot of times, here we go. What we'll do is our dirts, we have two controls over them. We have an intensity control, which controls kind of like a histogram scan, which basically adds more dirt to it. And then we have this alpha control, which will actually control that dirt opacity. So if we tone this down, right, we can adjust how much of that dirt is actually opaque. While this, typically, I'm not sure how Pavel set it up yet. Let's see. But typically this will kind of do a histogram scan and actually add more places that gets filled up with dirt. And we can pick a color for dirt, right? So here. There we go, right? Just put a bunch of blood splatters. Let's make them pretty big. There we go. All right, he's bleeding. Maybe tone those down a little bit. Those are a little too I don't know what the right word is. Just too obtrusive. It's a little too heavy-handed, right? You want to do subtle layers is typically what we try to do, what we try to achieve. When we do stuff that's too heavy-handed, sometimes it feels like it's a little forced. All right, cool. So was nice. Let's move on to something else. Let's oh, this is a cool one. I was messing with this a little earlier. I like the studded leather. So let's see if we can apply it here to this section. Let's see what to say. Hi, Game Texture. Send you part, and we've been talking back and forth. Can you please good? Oh yeah. Hey, Paul. Good to see you, man. Yeah, we'll make sure to check a little later today. Your work's gotten a lot better. It looks really good, man. Excuse me. Oh, cool. Tanner's gonna check it out now. So we try to be quick. Yeah, that's the truth. We've it's really great hearing from you guys. We've been hearing so much from you guys lately. Sometimes we just lose some stuff in the speed of things. It's been really awesome. We've been really excited. And again, we always love hearing from you. So all right, so yes, basically if we don't get back to you the first time, please feel free to bug us over and over. I promise it's not because we don't want to talk to you. We really do. It's just sometimes it's easy for things to get lost in the shuffle. Let's see. again, let's, first thing I usually want to turn this down. This one bugs me, this height range. Just stresses me out when I see this. So we'll tone that down. We'll increase the tiling, right? So there we go. We got nice studded pieces there. And we'll add a mask with color selection, right? And then we can pick that section. We can also maybe, let's see if we can soften this a little bit. A little bit. We weren't, you know, as I was messing around with this model, I realized Pavel and I have some different approaches in how we texture things. I noticed I was watching Pavel's video, and there's no right or wrong. It's just different, right? He likes to use the projection paint, and I guess I'm lazy, so I don't like to have to try to project it in the right way. So I just I try to set up my UV so that I can do this, or my at least my material ID, so that I don't have to mess with it. But you know, just different workflows. So I'm not liking. I want to just push it to the whole thing. So what I'm going to do, and this is cool. If you guys aren't the most familiar with Designer, right? Here's a cool thing about it. So we're gonna just turn the tolerance completely down, right? So we have this really bad aliasing. But what we can do is we can add another color to it. So we'll add that, right? Now we can increase tolerance a little bit, and we can just merge that seam in between them, right? We're getting a little splatters right here, but that should be okay. That shouldn't be too bad. I wish this part of me wishes this material in Painter would handle displacement maps, and we could actually displace these coming out. That would be really cool. Hey, what's up, Loto? Would be amazing if you show how to create these materials in Substance Designer from scratch. Yeah, I don't know how much time we would have to show them. Building the materials take a while, especially adding controls and stuff. You know, there's a couple of tutorials out there. I have one on Digital Tutors, or now it's Pluralsight. Josh Lynch has a couple. But honestly, I mean, for the most part, those are really environmental stuff. This is probably one of the first. I don't know if there's any other packs out there specifically designed for character work. Pavel has a couple that I think he's released, but most of it's really been for environments. This is really exciting in that this is, you know, it's a character pack. It's fun. So we can add another section here. Let's pick another color. Let's maybe add this guy. Right, so now it's both sides having that studded leather. And I don't want it up there, but let's see. Yeah, it's gonna just, unfortunately, we'll just cover it up later. We've got a lot of hacks that we figure out how to do. Let's take this again and let's mess with some of this. Right? Add some aging. Add some dirt. Tone that down a little bit. And give me just a second here. Okay, cool. So, and then let's see, blood splatter, post effects, particles. Oh, that's good. Cool. So now let's add some of our, currently we're just using materials from our layered armor pack, right? So this has a lot of materials that are kind of, it's blended materials. So we've got Um, we've got some leather, we've got some patterns, we've got some little stitching, right? We also have just plain leathers. So we have an older pack, just a base leather pack, which is just pure base leathers. We can add some of those and get some pretty neat effects from them. Let's do something crazy. Let's grab this Chesterfield sofa. I think this may actually do something. Let's see. Let's drag and drop it. Right, so now he looks like a couch. Right, but check this out. This would actually look not too bad on the arm, or maybe down here actually. So let's add mask with color selection, pick color. Let's add it here in this green area, right? And then let's take this and let's rotate this. So let's do UV rotate. Let's do a triplanar projection for this one actually. There we go, that's better. Right. So let's maybe adjust the tiling. Right, cool. And let's adjust some of the advanced parameters. Right, so we can adjust the base color. I'm not going to leave that. We can change the buttons from being metal to leather. I'm going to keep it as metal. And we can add some staining. Now the thing we don't have here is blood. I can't. I didn't. I'm the one that made the. I worked on this the Chesterfield leather. I just didn't expect to add blood to it when I was creating it. I probably should have. There we go. So that's kind of neat, right? Just I don't know. It's fun to get creative with some of these materials, right? So let's see what else we got here. Let's try out. Oh, this one's real popular. Cracked Old Couch. This one was one that Matt worked on, and oh no, this is the wrong one. It's the what is it? Which one? Oh yeah. All right, let's try jerky leather. So this is an interesting one. We have this. Matt and I were going back and forth on this one. We were like, "Oh, it looks like beef jerky," so we just called it jerky leather, right? Yeah, that's really smart. That's a good one. So let's isolate it. So we'll add a color and we'll apply it to this arm, right? That's kind of interesting. And I think we'll have to triplanar project this one because I don't like to. It's interesting. I don't want to projection paint it. I actually projection painted my one of my older characters. We were looking at him earlier in the week with the chainmail, but now I don't have to, so I don't. What's that? Oh, okay. Here we go. Yeah, that would actually work much better than there. So let's add them to. Let's add them to here. So pick color. There, yeah, that works out. And let's see if triplanar works out. We can also change the base color. So I think changing this to a darker color would probably help it. And maybe let's increase some of the stain amount. Let's change the color variation to like a brighter color. Again, we're just trying to get some contrast here, right? In the stain. Okay, so let's see. For the hold on. So here we're gonna go with a more orange color. And then here for the variation color, we'll go with a darker one. Let's see if that actually pushes it. Seems to not be getting much of a, there's not enough there that it's able to pull. And desaturate it a little. Let's get a darker stain color as well. I think this one maybe slightly more orange. There we go. Cool. Oh, and that worked out for up there too. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna add this section to it. So we'll go and go to color selection, pick color. I'm just gonna add that. It's not working very well, is it? Trying to think. Oh, here we go. Since we can't really, we'll just have to manually do it. So here we'll paint white, and I'm gonna have to use my pen on this one. And we can just paint it in. Notice too that that layer underneath is blending the height map, which is good, but we don't want it here. So what we'll do, right, as we're painting this in, I'm looking forward to when they add shapes to Painter, to where we can just draw and close stuff in. That would be cool. Another thing we can do is we can alt click. There we go. Alt click the mask so that we're isolated and just looking at the mask. The brush feels a little laggy. I'm not sure what's going on. Let's drop down in resolution real quick to maybe 1K. Right. It's another beauty about Painter, right? Is we can drop down resolution, fix some things. It's almost like working in ZBrush and using you know, subdivision layers. So we can fix some things. You can use Face UV Mesh Select tool instead of manually painting for this. Face UV Mesh Select. Is it this one? I know that was there before. No, that's Polygon Fill. You have some. Do I? It's not much though. You can use Face UV Mesh Select. Are you talking about? You're not talking about. Are you talking about this one? Oh, cool, nice. This tool has gotten better. This was when I first was using this. This was kind of, I don't know. It just didn't work very well. But it's yeah. This is nice. This is quite useful. Yeah, this is awesome. Cool. All right, so we've got that isolated now. Thank you. Nice. All right, so let's we'll hit M again to switch back. All right. And notice we've gotten real blurry here, so I'm just going to switch this back up to 2K. Oh, cool. UV shell and mask. Okay, so that's working now too. Yeah, we spend, I guess, the majority of our time in Designer. And so sometimes I'm not the most updated on what all is working well here now. That's really cool. Thanks, Lodo. And who was the other one? Oh, and I'm real sorry about that, Strange Games. I don't know why we were missing it. Yeah, we'll get to you. I think, yeah, Tanner's gonna take care of you right now. So. I'm gonna switch this real quick. So if we want to switch to the height channel, we can switch over here, and instead of linear, or we can keep it at linear dodge. No, instead of linear dodge, we're gonna switch this to normal. And there we go. Now we're not seeing that studded leather underneath. All right, let's go back to the brush. Let's add a couple more spots. There we go. Cool. That's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, so I want a little more contrast. Oh, let's do this too. So let's go back here to our Chesterfield. Let's go to the color selection here and let's do an add paint. All right. And what I'm going to do, based on your new tricks that you guys have showed me, is I want to isolate and just get rid of this stuff here. So let's see what other ones. Mesh fill, polygon fill, tri-fill. We want to set this to black. Yes, that's awesome. Oh man, you guys are great. Thank you. That's really nice. I was wondering a little bit about trying to isolate certain sections here, and I was having a tough time because I was like, oh, I got to set up the UVs and everything for it. This is awesome. All right, so let's go back here to the Chesterfield sofa. Let's adjust some colors here because I feel like these two are a little too close. Maybe have some fun. Let's make it like stained red, maybe. No, that's too much fun. All right, there we go. It's just a little too far off. I think I want to desaturate it though a little bit. Yeah, that's not too bad. All right. Also for the Gambeson, let's maybe switch that to, I don't know, just give it some variation, right? So maybe we'll switch this to a, yeah, maybe we'll just switch it to, maybe, yeah, it's just that dark saturated color of orange. That's pretty cool. Cool. So let's see. We also have a cool. Oh, cool. I also have. Let's see. We also have a hide material. This is. I'm not sure what we called it. Suede is actually what we call it, but it works really well as hide. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that and let's see, where might be something here that's a little more raw. Maybe these bags, right? This bag could be a little raw. So we're going to take and drag and drop this. Right? We'll go ahead. See, just it's a little raw and a little more noisy. Let's tone down again, maybe the hide range a little bit. And there we go. And let's add a mask with color selection, and let's pick this purse. Let's maybe go back here and no, I don't like it. Let's find something else. I don't like how that one's looking. You know what? This was one. Some of you guys missed this earlier, but Matt did this really cool snake skin material. So let's go with snake skin. And let's tone down the let's tone down height range. Oh, sorry. Let's select the snake skin. Tone down the height range. And maybe increase. Right. And let's just set it to add a. There we go. Snake skin purse. Right, there we go. Nice snake skin purse. That is really gross. That's ugly. But the material is nice. It's just ugly for the bag. That looks completely out of place. Let's take a look at some of the. Let's go back to some of the layer armor pack stuff. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. This one's actually really cool. I want to use it on something today, but I'm not sure what yet. So here's what? No. Here's just plain leather. So you know, plain leathers are always good. They're kind of multifunctional. A lot of times it's funny. We have all of these cool materials, but we keep going back to these plain ones because, you know, they're so useful in so many places. So what we're going to do is we'll tone down again this height range, right? And let's make some adjustments here on the I guess this one doesn't have a, oh, here it is, base roughness. We don't want it quite so shiny, you know, I mean, and let's see, add some folds to it. Age it, dirt. Cool, and then we'll add selection 1. Yeah, let's pick, you know, one of the bags. 2. Right, then maybe we'll just duplicate it. Right, so we can just duplicate layer, and then this one we'll remove these 2, and maybe we'll assign this to these 2. Right, so you might ask, oh well, what's the point of that? Well, this one maybe we'll set this to be just a slightly lighter color for the leather, right? Just for so we get some variation, and maybe it's a little less aged. Right, and maybe we got a little less dirt. Cool, that's looking pretty good. He's got some interesting things there now. Interesting things going for him. You know what? Let's give him a little bit of asymmetry here, and let's give him samurai lamellar on one of the arms. I don't think this is going to turn out well, right? Let's see here. Oh, what happened there? Maybe this we'll do the scale. Where is it? armor, brigandine, lamlar, leather, scale. Here it is. So right, so this would be cool. We'll put it here on one of the arms. It'll give us a little bit of asymmetry. So we'll add a mask with color selection. Pick color. We'll grab this arm, right? And then we'll need to turn down that. So now we know it's just going down here. And we can rotate this. Right? To follow the arm. And then obviously we'll need to tile it. And we'll again need to tone down the height range. Height range is a little too strong. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, right? Gives him a little bit of asymmetry, some little different type of effect. It's neat. Again, since we have these two leathers, so we'll just call this plain leather 2, and we'll go underneath. And we'll call this plain leather 1, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to assign these, because there's, you know, a variety of different belts here. We'll just kind of mix and match them. Right, so maybe that goes there, and maybe there. Maybe this one goes on the other ones, so let's just say right, and they're pretty close enough here that I bet if we just increase some of the threshold here, it would, some of the tolerance, yeah, it would take in the rest of it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. No, too much. Alright, so we've got a couple of areas here that are a little messed up, so we'll just kind of hack it, and we'll do a paint. And again, we'll go back to this awesome tool, right? And we'll just oh, because we need to switch to white. So there we go. Just kind of trying to grab certain sections that may be getting missed. Right. And then we can add some metals. So we can actually just grab probably some, well, let's look here at so we can grab one from game textures. Let's just go to gametextures.com. Let's do a search for metals. Oh, cool. It's interesting. It's a new one from Matt. That's neat. Let's see here. Cast iron? No, probably not cast iron. probably want to do some sort of steel would work. Yeah, let's do steel. All right, so we'll sign in. Hey, it's telling us to go to Twitch. And we said steel, so this one's cool. Might be too noisy. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm a little concerned it may have too much noise, but check it out. So there we go. These substances, they download really, really quickly. So we can just, I'm just gonna take this and drag it over here. And let's drag it into our materials. We can drag it. So layer on top, and again, right, goes everywhere. We got to tone down the height range, right? Possibly, I think. Let's see. It's a little too bright in my opinion, so I'll go just to basic parameters, and I'm going to tone down luminosity just a hair. There we go. And now we're going to go ahead, add mask with color selection, and let's just assign, actually, no, let's just add a paint. Right. And then on the paint, we'll do again this cool selection tool, and we can start assigning different metal areas. Cool. Let's switch back to the brush, and let's you know, since it's metal, it doesn't really matter too much as far as the resolution on it. We're just trying to get mostly that specular and the gloss on it for it to look like metal. But even so, right, I think I'm gonna go and I want to increase the tiling on it just a little bit, just to give it a little more resolution. There we go. This one, yeah, we'll keep it metal. That's fine. It's not exactly what we're trying to figure out today. And then again, right, we've got just a couple more sections here, and his hand is turning all disgusting. Let's grab plain leather one. Let's add a paint. And let's just add, you know, mesh selection. We want it white. We'll add that to it. Go back to brush. That's cool. Right, and some of these areas, Pavel added a stitch to. So I just want to show you guys how to do that real quick. I'm not gonna go into it too much, but you just grab one of the stitch brushes, right? So we've got a couple different ones here. And I'm gonna create a completely new layer. So I'll come in, let's bring it up to the top. And we'll just do stitch, right? And what we want to use for our material for the stitch layer is we want to use an empty material. So we're just gonna, what we can do is just hit X right here, and now it's just a blank empty one, and we can change some of these. So let's just set the base color to maybe stitch like color, and then we'll adjust roughness to be fairly rough, right? Non-metallic. And then height, we want to just give it a slight lift, very slight lift. Alright, so now let's shrink this down. And let's use this one, right? Something a little fancier. And we'll turn on this lazy mouse, right? I'm going to start kind of drawing some stitching along there. We can I'm going to tone this down a little bit. I think it's a little too slow. Right. I'm going to increase my height just a little bit as well. Right. There we go. And let's increase our size just a hair. Yeah, it's probably a little big, and I think it's a little too yellow in my opinion. So let's go down a little more, and let's desaturate it just a hair, and maybe go a little browner. There we go. I think that'll work. Right. Oh, I forgot something. Alright, let's undo this one last time. We can actually turn on mirror. That's what I was trying to remember to do. So we'll go to, let's see, right here, mirror X, mirror. See, hopefully it's completely centered. Yep. And we can just do it on both sides. That's good. Actually, so here's a little thing for that. We'll turn off mirror now. Right, that way we don't get that weird seam in the middle. And from here we can just draw straight across. And then it'll just land where it lands. Right, and that way it's not this weird kind of dot right there. Alright, cool. So then we can, you can add this stitching wherever. Right. Turn that off. Quick. Cool thing about doing fantasy stuff too is, I actually in my past life trying to do character art, I took a class by Caton Calloway, and he's a Colorado guy too. So anyway, he was telling us that that's kind of one of the nice things about doing fantasy style characters, is that, you know, to some degree, since you're doing, you know, not quite, I mean, they're doing this by hand, not with a machine. You can be a little bit inaccurate as well when you're drawing these stitches. You know, they don't have to be perfect. There we go. I like this part of it. Kind of gives you a lot of, you know, kind of hands-on artistry to it. A little bit of a personal touch, right? So yeah, I'm digging that. You know, we can do, obviously we can do like a whole lot of stuff here, right? You know, we can add it here and here. I mean, we can go to town with this stuff, which is, I mean, it's important. If I was doing this for a, you know, we're putting this in game, I would definitely be doing all this. But I mean, I don't think you guys want to watch me make stitches for the next hour and a half. So I'm gonna stop that there. But you get the point, right? And there's so much random decals you've got here. I mean, you know, we've been talking about possibly making little decals like this too. They're just fun to use. You know, they're fun to use. They give a really good artistic touch to the work, right? You know, we can also, if we want to go in and do some like noise and dirt, right? We can come in and just add another layer. Right, we can just go grunge, right? And we can just get something like this, spot spray, and let's just go here. Oh, we don't want to add to the height. Yes, we do want to add to the roughness. We don't want to do metal or normal. And for the roughness, we want it to be more rough, right? Now let's put it here at the very top. You know, and I'm not organizing this very well either, so don't take that as you should do this. You should definitely put layers and folders and stuff there. I'm just not doing it today. Let's darken this a little bit. Maybe brighten it. Oh, no, it's not showing up very well. There it is. So maybe this is, you know, just some scratching. In fact, maybe let's make it like it's fresher leather. Right? So this is kind of nice. You put a little bit of your own personal touches to it, and also use like a soft brush. Right, so we can shrink this, and let's say we just want to paint on the height map. Right, so let's just paint on the height. Right, and we're just gonna, I don't know. Let's turn on this smooth, and let's see, there should be a control here for setting this to pen pressure, size, flow, no pressure. Should work. It's not adding too much. There's some other cool brushes that you can actually just draw in as stencils, you know, for adding little scratches. You know, but we can just make it. That's still, I'm not happy with that. That's too thick. It's just too thick. I don't like that. All right, cool. So let's just do kind of a final render on this and take a look at it. We didn't add to the arms. Fine. I can't stand it. I have to add something there. Let's use the suede on the arms. I think that'll work. And we'll do add mask color selection, pick color. We'll do that. Come on now. Pick color. And let's tone this down. And let's select this. There we go. And I just want to darken it. There we go. All right. That's okay for now. And one last thing, just so we get a nice render out of it, let's get plain leather 2. Let's just do this paint selection again, and we'll use poly selection. There we go. All right, sweet. I'd say that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and switch over to render view. Not bad, iRay. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. I gotta check that out. Overlaps. And let's maybe, I don't know, bump the max time to 74 seconds. I don't think we need caustics. I don't think that'll really help. Let's see. And this is really cool. I like this activate post effects. I like the anti-alias post effects because it makes it a lot faster, right? So if we open up the aperture, we'll get some blurring, but we can adjust the focal distance. Oh no, I bet it broke. Usually if you turn on, oh sorry, depth of field. There we go. So we can adjust the focal distance here just using a post-process effect instead of it having to re-render. The other thing I like to do is I turn on tone mapping and I set this to since cinematic or usually auto is good, right? And I'll de-gamma it a little bit. Bump up exposure just a hair. We'll do a little bit of color correction and increase contrast a little bit. Right. So pretty good. And then I usually like to turn off. This is actually, I don't always get a great result from this panorama, but I think this one's pretty cool. So I'll just turn off the background. I'll set it to clear color because I can't just blur it. If I could just blur it, I would. So we'll get it to something decent, and then I'm just gonna hit pause right here. It's funny. He looks like this looks like a, you know, Thor or something for his arm right there. That's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, here's the iRay render. I think it turned out pretty well. We've got some nice depth here, nice material variation. You know, not bad for about an hour's work, right? Could probably use a couple more, you know, some more stitching on the arm, some more, you know, wrinkles here, maybe on the glove. Maybe, I think the hide material may have come in a little too soft or too harsh. But all in all, I think it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. The other thing to note about this, guys, just to remember, is we have absolutely no ZBrush sculpt, right? This is completely done it with our game texture materials and Substance Painter. And I'd venture to say, I mean, it looks probably as good as if you had sculpted all this detail in ZBrush. So you guys have any questions for us or anything we can do to help you guys out? Just post in a little chat box there before I guess, you know, I'll log off here in just a little bit, and we'll just answer stuff in the box. But if there's something I can cover with video, let me know. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Excuse me. Chivalry. Good call. Yeah, I was trying to think of different Iray life. Yeah, if we could do a good light setup, I'd love for us to use Iray more. Right now, the only lights we can get in Iray is basically off of that, off of an environment map, unless we go and we create some, you know, something using HDR Light Studio or something. Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, this goes either way. So once we bake this out, in fact, Painter has some really good options here for different systems, right? So obviously we've got the traditional Unity, Unreal Engine, right? If we wanted to go directly there, but also we've got options to ship out directly to V-Ray. We've got options to ship out to Redshift, to Keyshot, right? Dota 2, that's where you want to go. CryEngine, right, which we have some materials for, Lumberyard, Arnold, right? And it'll all translate pretty well. We've done a little bit of couple of different systems. We've done Octane, we've done Redshift, obviously Unreal and Unity, right? Toolbag, Sketchfab. We've done some stuff from Sketchfab. So yeah, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward to set up these materials once you have them. Thanks, man. Thanks, Rage. Thanks, Caravel. Is that right? So, all right. Well, cool, guys. Thanks. Thanks, man. Thanks, Mr. Cupcake or Miss Cupcake. I'm not sure. Yeah, thanks. We really enjoyed it. Love hanging out with you guys. This pack, just a little bit of info. This pack should be at the store pretty soon. It's completed. We've done QA on it. We wanted to do a couple of you know, product renders, but it should be ready here in the next little bit, and then they'll probably fully hit the Allegorithmic store first, and then after that they'll be on GameTextures.com slowly. So if you're a regular subscriber, you will get it, but if you want to just purchase the pack, they should also be on Allegorithmic, store.allegorithmic.com. So cool. Thanks, guys. Let me see. Is there any questions here? Thanks for the stream. Thanks, man. Nice job. Thanks, listener. Take you people in the stage. Sorry, I don't quite understand. All right, guys. Well, we'll be on chat, and you can get a hold of us on GameTextures.com. Again, if you've been trying to contact us, we try to pride ourselves in making sure that we get back to you guys very quickly. We actually, one of our things that we will post is when we're able to catch somebody after it's just been a minute that they've contacted us, and we fixed their problem in a minute, and they're happy, we're happy. But we've just been getting a lot of stuff, so please, if we're running a little late on stuff, we appreciate your patience. Just bug us. Just be like, hey, you know, Arvin, Tanner, Matt, did you miss my message? And we'll be there to help you guys in a jiffy. All right. Is there a legit stream schedule time here? Yeah, we try to hit every other Friday. We send out a Twitter message always it's always